10 Fascinating Curiosities about the Odyssey. The Greek myth, what if the greatest journey in Western literature was not really about distance, but about identity? For nearly 3,000 years, the Odyssey has captivated audiences with monsters, gods, and perilous voyages. Yet beneath its surface lies a work far more subtle and intellectually demanding than a simple adventure story. Here are 10 curiosities that reveal how complex, strange, and enduring the Odyssey truly is. Curiosity 1. We do not know if Homer ever existed. The epic is traditionally attributed to Homer, but even in antiquity, Greeks argued over who or what Homer really was. Some believed he was a single blind poet. Others thought the name referred to a group of singers. Modern scholars generally agree that the Odyssey emerged from a long oral tradition, shaped over generations before being written down in the 8th century BCE. The poem is less the product of one mind than of an entire culture. Curiosity 2. The poem was meant to be heard, not read. The repeated phrases such as rosy-fingered dawn or wily Odysseus are not decorative. They are mnemonic devices, designed to help oral poets remember and improvise thousands of lines during live performances. The Odyssey was not silently read in private. It was sung aloud, often over several nights, to an audience that already knew the story but delighted in hearing it retold. Curiosity 3. Odysseus is a hero of intelligence, not strength. Unlike Achilles, Odysseus triumphs through cunning rather than brute force. His defining quality is meta-intelligence, adaptability, and strategic deception. This made him both admirable and unsettling to Greek audiences. Odysseus Laius disguises himself and manipulates others, yet he survives where more straightforward heroes perish. The poem quietly asks whether intelligence is more powerful and more dangerous. Ton strength. Curiosity 4. The monsters are moral tests, not just threats. The Cyclops, the Sirens, Scylla, and Charybdis are not random obstacles. Each represents a failure of self-control. The Cyclops embodies lawlessness and a rejection of hospitality. The Sirens symbolize destructive knowledge and temptation. Even the Lotus Eaters represent the danger of forgetting one's identity and obligations. Monsters in the Odyssey reveal what happens when civilization breaks down. Curiosity 5. Hospitality is a sacred law. One of the poem's central values is xenia, the sacred bond between guest and host. Good hosts offer food, shelter, and gifts before asking questions. Bad hosts like the Cyclops or the suitors in Ithaca violate this code and invite divine punishment. To ancient Greeks, hospitality was not politeness. It was a religious duty enforced by Zeus himself. Curiosity 6. The gods are deeply human. The Olympian gods in the Odyssey are powerful, but they are far from perfect. They argue, take sides, hold grudges, and show favoritism. Athena aids Odysseus, not because he is morally pure, but because she admires his intelligence. Poseidon persecutes him out of wounded pride. The gods mirror human emotions, magnified by immortality. Curiosity 7. Penelope is as clever as Odysseus. Penelope is often remembered as the faithful wife, but the poem portrays her as remarkably intelligent. Her famous weaving tricon raveling her work each night is an act of strategic deception equal to any of Odysseus' schemes. In many ways, she mirrors her husband's cunning, proving that intelligence in the Odyssey is not limited by gender. Curiosity 8. Ithaca is not idealized, unlike later epics that glorify kingdoms. Ithaca is portrayed as fragile and vulnerable. The absence of its king leads to social collapse, corruption, and violence. Order depends not on institutions, but on personal authority and reputation. Home in the Odyssey is precious precisely because it is unstable. Curiosity 9. The journey is also psychological. Odysseus' wanderings are not only physical. Each disguise, delay, and test forces him to confront who he is when stripped of status and recognition. By the time he returns home, Odysseus has learned restraint, something he lacked earlier in the poem. His final victory depends on patience, not bravado. Curiosity 10. The ending is deliberately unsettling. The poem does not end with pure harmony. The slaughter of the suitors is brutal, and the threat of renewed civil war looms until divine intervention halts it. This ambiguous ending reminds us that violence leaves consequences. Justice in the Odyssey is necessary but never clean. The Odyssey endures because it understands something deeply human, that survival requires intelligence, memory, and self-knowledge, and that returning home may be the hardest journey of all. If this ancient epic still speaks to us, it is because its questions remain unresolved, and perhaps they always will be.